Howdy, friends. Welcome into another episode of Nash Trash with our good friend, Debbie Reynolds. Debbie, what's going on?
Howdy, folks.
Howdy.
It's going to be a rainstorm today in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I'm getting ready for it.
It's very, very humid here in Houston, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, interesting week in country music and history. On April the 26th, 2013, that was the day we lost George Jones. You know, what a terrible loss to country music. His signature song, as you know, was He Stopped Loving Her Today. What a great song. But, during his life, he had more than 150 hits, solo hits as well as duets with other artists. Tremendous loss to country music. Great man. Loved his music. Still do.
Indeed, it was a great loss to country music. That is absolutely true.
Yep. Well, when I go out on the road, I guess I'm going to not only have to go through Tennessee and Mississippi, but I'm going to have to go through Georgia too, because on April 27th of 2001, Monticello, Georgia renamed Highway 23 as the Tricia Yearwood Parkway. So I just envision myself out driving and somebody says, well, do you need directions? And I say, no, I'll go on the Tammy Wynette Parkway to the Tricia Yearwood Parkway to the, I just keep going on parkways named after famous country artists.
Soon you'll be all over the place. Charlie Pride's got a road down there.
I know. And maybe I should make sure that my music that I'm playing in the car coincides with the parkway I'm on.
Well, it should. That would be just the right thing to do, no matter what.
Absolutely. Hey, April 27th, 2019, just recently, the song by Luke Combs, This One's For You, went back to #1 on the country album chart for another 7 weeks. Now, the album continued throughout 2018 and 2019 to return to #1 throughout those 2 years, spent a total of 50 weeks at the top of the charts. Now, that tied the record for the longest time spent atop the chart by an album. There's only 2 albums that's done that. Luke Combs, This One's For You is one of them. Do you know what the second one was?
I do not.
Not a clue, huh? Well, it's Shania Twain's Come On Over. They share the spot.
Only two ever. Wow, that's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? 2 albums. Now, songs, it's another story, but those 2 albums they have topped the charts 50 weeks, and no one has done that before. 50 weeks, you got to think about that. That's a long time.
That's 1 year.
It's 1 year pretty much. They have 2 weeks off for vacation, I guess. Oh, well. Hey, April 28th of 2000 was a really great day for Rascal Flatts. They made their Grand Ole Opry debut. Now, they didn't actually join the Opry for another 11 years. They were invited 11 years later, but they made their debut. And the interesting thing about it, they were just kids. You should see the picture of them at their debut. There were people everywhere, not like today where they have to social distance. They said that there were people in the aisles, people in the seats, people just everywhere. But that night, they had a great performance. And then there was a video message to them from none other than President George W. Bush, who let them know that they were, the Bush family was a very, very big fan of Gary J. and Joe Don. Loved their music, according to the president, but we loved their compassion and generosity, because Rascal Flatts has been very much involved in Make-A-Wish, the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, and the American Red Cross. And so the Bush message simply said, how much we love you, and we're very proud of all the work that you do. Now, can you imagine this band premiering first time ever at the Grand Ole Opry and then having a message from the President of the United States?
It really says a lot about who they are. That's for sure.
Well, one of my favorite groups of all time, and it's kind of interesting because they've been saying for years they were going to, or a couple of years at least, that they might be retiring. And they came out just 2 or 3 days ago and said, you know what? We're not going to do that. We've still got things to do and songs to sing. So I'm so excited.
I heard, speaking of retiring, I heard something the other day on Sirius XM, an interview with William Lee Golden of the Oak Ridge Boys, and he said that they were going to start their final tour. And I hadn't heard anything about that.
I hadn't either.
I hope, because every time I see them or talk to them, it's, no, we're not retiring. But then he said something about their final tour, and I just...
Maybe it's just their final 2021 tour. Then they'll gear up for 2022.
Maybe. I sure hope so, because, I mean, I really do like the Oaks, that's for sure.
Oh, me too. And on May 1st, 1993, our friend Charlie Pride accepted an invitation to join the Grand Ole Opry. Did you know that, and I'm sure you did because you're such a Charlie Pride fan, he sold over 70 million records worldwide? It's just hard to imagine.
That's a ton of vinyl.
That's a ton. I mean, my daddy would have called that something else, but that is a ton. Ton is a polite word.
Charlie Pride, unfortunately we lost him a little while back, but I tell you what, he was class. He was class.
Class act for sure. Class gentleman.
Absolutely, and great songs and great storytelling and yeah, we miss him.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Rascal Flatts, as we were, happy birthday to Jay DeMarcus. His birthday was the 26th of April, born in Columbus, Ohio in 1971. He's just a kid. I tell you what.
I was almost out of high school. You probably were out of high school.
Was out of high school, yeah. I graduated a couple of years before. Happy birthday on April the 27th to Sheena Easton, born in Scotland. I just love to listen to her talk. She's got a great accent. But also John Osborne of the Brothers Osborne, he celebrated his birthday on the 27th. 29th is a big day for birthdays. Holy cow. Willie Nelson, born in 1933 in Abbott, Texas. Do you know that most of his family, if you ask them, they will say, no, he was born on the 30th. But Willie Nelson says, I was born on the 29th. The story was they couldn't record my birthday until the next day. So that's why some of his family think that he was born on the 30th. But at the age of 81, do you know how he celebrated his birthday? He got his 5th degree black belt in martial art. And I don't even know if I could pronounce it right. It's called Gong Kwan Yu Sul or something. But he received his 5th degree black belt. And I'm thinking, that's pretty good. That's kind of like George H.W. Bush when he was jumping out of planes.
That's exactly what I thought of. George Bush jumping out of airplanes. And Willie Nelson, maybe, who knows what he would be doing. But
who knows?
Getting a 5th degree black belt. Wow.
Yep, absolutely. That's pretty good. It's kind of interesting. I didn't know all these years. My dad was born on the 29th of April in 1929. And I didn't know he and Willie celebrated. They were both kind of the same type of people. So I didn't know he celebrated birthday with a famous guy like Willie Nelson. Also on the 29th, we've got songwriter and producer Ashley Gorley. He was born in Kentucky. Oak Ridge Boys member Dwayne Allen, born in Taylortown, Texas in 1943. And Michael Ray was born in Florida in 1988. Great birthdays. But on April 30th, we've got Carolyn Dawn Johnson. I don't know if you know her. She's from Canada and a great singer and songwriter. The Mavericks founding member Robert Reynolds celebrates a birthday on the 30th. May 1st, our friend Tim McGraw, born in Louisiana. And Sonny James would have celebrated his birthday on May the 1st, born in 1928. What's your favorite Sonny James song? Yep, young love. Everybody will say that. Absolutely. Rita Coolidge, or maybe the former Mrs. Chris Christopherson, I guess, born in 1945 on May 1st. And on May 2nd, we've got a couple of great birthdays. Ty Herndon and Larry Gatlin, both were born on May 2nd. So happy birthday to all these folks.
I had heard an interview just yesterday from Larry Gatlin. I think it was recorded a few years ago. But he was talking about when his son was born in the hospital in Nashville. And he called up Johnny Cash to tell him that his son had arrived. And Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash were the first people to show up at the hospital to visit the new baby.
Whoa, not everybody can say that Johnny Cash came to see you when you were born.
in fact, the I'm sure he's an adult now. I don't know how old he is, but his middle name is Cash.
Oh, that is too cool. That is really cool. Well, as you know, I am over the moon excited about this week in the Grand Ole Opry. Friday night's a good lineup with Rhett Akins, Doyle Dykes, the Gatlin brothers. I hope they bring a cake out to Larry, Levi Hummon, Carolyn Jones, and Dusty Slade. But Saturday night is the night I'm excited about because it's going to have Priscilla Block, our new artist that we highlighted a few months ago. She's going to be out there along with Doyle Dykes. Home Free, a great group. Ronnie Millsap, wouldn't it be if Priscilla Block can say, I was on stage with Ronnie Millsap. Oh, and Shonda Pierce. And then next Tuesday, they still have Tuesday night shows. We have Henry Cho, Fillmore, Dom Flemings, the Frontmen of Country, and the Isaacs. So good lineup for the next 3 shows that they've got there.
Let's take a look at the number ones for this week. On April 25th, back in 1960, Jim Reeves was number 1 with He'll Have to Go.
He'll Have to Go.
1978, it was Kenny Rogers and Dottie West with Every Time Two Fools Collide. On April 26th, back in 1984, Johnny Lee and Lane Brody had number 1 with The Yellow Rose. And April 27th in 2011, it was Jason Aldean's turn with My Kind of Party. On April 28th, 1973, his very first number 1, spent 20 weeks on the charts with Charlie Rich and Behind Closed Doors. April 29th, 1992, Dan Seals was his very first single from his 1990 album On Arrival. The song was called Love on Arrival, and it spent 3 weeks at number 1. And then on April 30th in 1977, Glenn Campbell and Southern Nights, and that was his second number 1 in the United States. So here's your dates to choose from: 1948, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018.
Let's go with 88.
88. I think you like this. KT Oslin.
Oh.
I'll Always Come Back.
I like KT Oslin.
I always like KT Oslin too. Always seemed like a dynamic force on stage, you know.
I just think it's cool when women have initial names.
Maybe we should even call you D Reynolds.
Well, it's really funny when I opened my very first bank account, 40 years or more ago, the bank said you should always don't use your name, don't let it be known that you're a woman or man or whatever. So all my bank account has always been DK Reynolds. Now I've told the world, oh gosh.
That's
right. And I still have it as DK Reynolds. I always thought that was cool. That was my stage name.
Yeah, stage name for Debbie Reynolds. Yeah. You don't really need one. You're Debbie Reynolds.
I guess not.
But anyway, take a look at the concerts around the area. The Copeland Dance Hall on Friday, April 30th. It's going to be Dale Watson. Sunday, May 2nd, you can go see Rick Trevino. On Friday, May 7th, Kevin Fowler. At the Do-Si-Do in the Woodlands on Thursday, April 29th, just tomorrow, it's going to be Chad Prather, comedian and candidate for governor of the state of Texas.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do in politics, but he's pretty outspoken. Who knows? Saturday, May 15th, it's going to be Jason Allen, our good friend. At the Pacific Yard House on Thursday, April 29th, our friend Peyton Howie. And on Friday, May 7th, the Chad Cook Band are going to be there. Now, this one's going to be a big one. And I think I really got to try to get to this one because I've been to Green Hall many times, but I've never been to a show at Green Hall. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, you go in the afternoon and just walk in the place and nothing's happening. It's not that big of a deal. But Kyle Park, our good friend, is going to be there Friday, May 7th. So I may be over in New Braunfels, over in Green, to see Kyle Park on Friday, May 7th. Schrader Hall on Friday, May 21st. It's going to be Kevin Fowler. He always puts on a good show. Take a look at the national charts. Number 5, you stayed at number 5 for the second week. Eric Church with Hell of a View. Luke Combs stayed at number 4 with Forever After All. Sam Hunt stayed at number 3. There really wasn't a lot of changes this week.
No.
Sam Hunt was number 3 with Breaking Up Was Easy in the 90s. Gabby Barrett dropped out of number 1. She moved down to number 2 with The Good Ones. And Jake Owens took her place with the number 1 song, Made for You. And some of our friends, see how they're doing. Aaron Watson is at number 108 with Silverado Saturday Night. Song it was number 1, but it's still on the charts. 168, Kin Fo with Plainview. And at number 234, the very first week she could be on the national charts, our good friend Mary Sarah and David Frizzell with the 40th anniversary of You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma. She made the charts, the national charts.
Will move up fast.
Other artists that moving up this week, Thomas Rhett's at number 23 with Country Again. Luke Bryan with Waves at number 24. And John Pardee with Tequila Little Time at number 30. But in Texas, there's changes all over the place. At number 5, Curtis Grimes went from 4 to 5 with Friend. Josh Ward went from number 6 to number 4 with A Cowboy Can. That's his 5th single off, the 5th single off his album that made it into the top 10, The More Than I Deserve. And biggest jump from number 9 to number 3, Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen with Hold My Beer. Now, how many times have you heard that in Texas? Hold my beer. I can take care of it. Going from number 5 to number 2 this week, Casey Donahue with Queen for a Night. And staying at number 1, Bart Crow with Pocket Full of Kisses. And it's a story about a boy who likes a girl, and the girl thinks he's a really good friend.
Oh, don't you hate that?
Don't you hate that, I tell you. Other artists moving up the charts at number 23, Kylie French Fry and Randy Hauser with Horses in Heaven. Sundance Heads at number 4 with I Bleed. And our good buddy John Stork is at number 16 right now, If You Can Dance. Some of their the shows that our favorite artists have got scheduled. John Wolfe, Saturday, May 1st. He's going to be at the Mauriceville Crawfish Bash. That sounds like a lot of fun over in Orange, Texas. Friday, May 14th, he's going to be at the Frio Grill in Cypress. Kevin Fowler is going to be at the Mile Zero Festival in Key West tonight. And then on Friday, April 30th, he's going to be at Port Neches, Texas for Riverfest. Aaron Watson's going to be at the Hunt County Fair in Greenville tomorrow. And on Friday, he'll be at the Backyard in Waco. And on Saturday, May 1st, Kyle Park will be at Buck's Backyard in Buda. Friday, May 7th, of course, he's going to be at Green Hall. And then Saturday, May 8th, he's going to be at Brewster Street Ice House in Corpus Christi. So that's what's going on in Texas. What else is going on in country music?
Well, I know this is not very country, but since 1969, when ZZ Top was formed in Houston, Texas, I've always been such a fan. And of course, their lead vocalist and guitarist, Billy Gibbons, has been such a mentor and influence over so many artists because of his guitar work and his style. He brought just kind of a new look and feel and sound, the whole group, to Texas rock. And he is such a musician. On May the 16th, live and in person, although there will be limited seating capacity, at Nashville's Grand Ole Opry House is a concert called A Tribute to Billy Gibbons. Now listen to some of the performers, and don't you tell me that Billy Gibbons has not influenced country music, because the performers include Eric Church, Brad Paisley, Lucinda Williams, Travis Tritt, Ronnie Millsap, Larky Poe, Dennis Quaid, Jimmy Vaughn, and then what they're calling surprise performers. But it's produced by a organization called America Salutes You. It's an organization that works with musicians to support veterans, service members, and first responders. So this will benefit nonprofit groups geared toward first responders and military members. It will help raise funds for USO and Thanks USA. So tickets are on sale starting this Friday. Again, limited capacity. But I can tell you right now, they have not announced it's going to be televised. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to see some great performers and tribute and raise money for some very valuable people in our society.
I wonder if the other members of ZZ Top are part of the surprise guests.
Oh, you've got to. They've got to be.
I was fortunate enough to meet Billy Gibbons one time at Hobby Airport. He gave me a ZZ Top lapel pin.
Really? You know, I thought "Gimme All Your Lovin'" would have been their -- song, and it was one of the best-selling songs they had. But LaGrange was the #1 song that sold the most.
That's what I thought it would be immediately, was LaGrange.
Well, it was.
I remember seeing them in Austin, Texas at Memorial Stadium, right when LaGrange came out, and they were the headline act for a huge all-day concert. All right, Debbie Reynolds, anything else we need to know about?
You know, today's my 31st wedding anniversary, and so we're going to celebrate by having family come visit.
Congratulations, 31 years. Boy, how did he put up with you?
I don't know. I have no idea. You know, we when we got married, we made a promise never to divorce. It's whoever got to the gun the fastest. So luckily, I know where the bullets are.
Well, let's hope he doesn't use them. Okay. All right, Debbie Reynolds. I guess we'll see you next Wednesday. All right.
All right. See you next week. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.